Did you know that house expenses is one of the biggest expenses people normally go through throughout their entire lives?
Oh my god! Wow!
And really struggle to pay it off? Not many people know how houseworking works and how they can use it to their advantage. So in today's video, I want to explain the two main methods of house hacking and how it can benefit you with your finance. So let's get into it. So number one is sharing your, property. So if you have roommates, so if you have 5 roommates and you've got a mortgage of £1,000 per month, you can split up with those 5 people. So you've got £1,000 and then you share with 5 people. So if you do the maths, that's around £200 per month that you have to pay yourself. So rather than paying the full £1,000, you're paying £200, which is leaving you with more money at the end of it. So you're house hacking to pay off less money towards the mortgage. And yes, you might be living with more people, but at the end of it, you're not paying as much money and you're being more frugal, which can be saved onto something else to help you out more in your career. So that's the normal method that most people do it if they do house hack. But the best method for me is number 2, which is renting out your house. So say if you have a normal house with obviously a floor, 2 rooms up top. If you have that and your mortgage is say still £1,000, you can do a HMO, which is when you rent out each room for a certain amount of pounds per month. So you can rent out for £300 per room per month. So that would be, paying off your mortgage. But then you can also have profit from cash flow from the properties, if that makes sense. So if you rent out like that, if you do a HMO, that's one method. Or you can rent it out singly, but still pay off the rent. So rather than renting out to loads of different people, you can rent out to one person for, like, say if you have the bottom of the house and someone can have the top of the house, you can rent it out for a fair bit of money. So you can rent out for £2,000 a month. So therefore you're making £1,000 is covered from expenses and from the mortgage, but then you can have the other £1,000 coming in as cash flow, right? So the good thing with doing that is that obviously you don't have to pay for mortgage and you're making cash flow. And then what you're doing with the cash flow is you can reinvest it into another property over time. So you can use the equity from your normal house at the moment. You can put that into another house using your equity, which will obviously appreciate in value over time, which all houses appreciate in value. While if we're talking about renting and stuff for house hacking, you can get other tenants to pay your mortgage and to give you more cash flow. So say if you, like I said, go back to the example of your mortgage is £1,000 per house and you're renting it out for £2,000 for one person. If you have 5 properties and then you've got obviously £1,000 of cash flow per house, that's £5,000 already coming in for positive cash flow per month. And then if you do that with enough houses, you can become financially free. So that's one way that people become financially free from house hacking. And you don't have to house hack just to, become rich. You can just do it if you don't have enough money. So if you're a teenager and you want to live out and move out from your mum and dad's house, you can simply just live with a bunch of friends, split the mortgage, boom, have a house put to yourself, and probably even have some people cook your own food for you. But there are different methods of house hacking, and I think, especially with the crisis of today, with everyone going up in value and appreciating, I think it's really good idea to learn how to do house hacking and to understand finance. So yeah, those are the main 2 methods. It's more or less a pick what one suits you the best. If you've got loads of friends and you want to live with friends, then do option 1. But if you want to have good positive cash flow, which is what the rich do, then I suggest picking option 2. But like I said, it's up to you at the end of the day. These are just 2 really simple options. And if you want more in depth of how house hacking works and how it can benefit you, then subscribe and comment down below what you want. So I hope that helps. See you later.